You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 102.
102. I'm Ralph, aka Omega Winfrey.
Omega Winfrey. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Stimmy Neutron.
Stimmy
Neutron.
I like
We out here.
that was an unfortunate nickname given to me. I didn't want it. Somebody gave it to me.
We might have to get into that backstory. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the Podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON 2_ the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Ralph, my guy, do you know what today is?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fire.
Yep.
OS is celebrating our 4-year podcast anniversary, our podversary, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's lit. 4 years in the podcast game. Ralph, how you feeling about it?
Excited, hopeful, kind of like almost the same way I did when we first started out, but just better. You know what I'm saying? You had that level of optimism when you first started out because you have all these big grand ideas and schemes,
right?
And, ploys and everything else under the sun. But yet, I can look around and I can say we're still here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
I think it's dope. Man, I'm excited, man, because I think we're way more polished podcasters than we are when we first started. So, yeah, man, I love it. I love it.
It's interesting that you mentioned how more polished we are now because it's like thinking back to episode 0, right? When we did the Kanye West joint, the producer versus the MC.
Yeah.
We were in my my dining room.
Yeah.
One snowball mic in the middle of the table. We didn't know what the hell was happening. Like, that shit was so funny.
Tragic, right?
But it's like, of course we could look back on it now because shit, I think we are vets in the podcast game now.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, like, I guess I underestimated how much work being a podcaster would be.
Mm-hmm.
But once we actually figured it out, oh shit, we actually got to put forth some
effort,
some type of effort.
Yeah.
It didn't deter us from wanting to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I'm pretty sure this happens to you. People reach out and wanting to know what you know about podcasting. Came through a lot of trial and error, and being, I'll just say, the nice person that I am, the generous person that I am. I'm always willing to give it up, and I'll get my phone number out to people and things like that. And have they ever really, followed through? Have they ever listened to the podcast faithfully? No. Yeah. I'll say that for sure. No.
Right.
I know you don't listen to the podcast already. And I know that sounds, it may sound like a little bitter or a little hurt, you know what I'm saying? But you would hope to think that the people that reach out for these things are people that actually support you.
Yeah.
And that may not necessarily be the case.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to ascend, or everybody wants to get their project or whatever it is started, but nobody wants to put the work in.
Exactly. And that's where a lot of people get the whole thing twisted. It's like, maybe they look at us and we've been consistently doing this for 4 years. So it's like, oh, okay, they're doing it, and they may know us maybe in passing or through social media or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, oh, I know them, they doing it, maybe I could do it too. Yeah, you only see what we post. You only hear the audio, you see the video when it's out.
Yeah.
But before all of that, It's a lot of shit that goes into it.
There's a lot of
A
pre-planning.
lot.
And then one thing I do notice is kind of like when you first start out, you do get a lot of fanfare, a lot of people that talk. The chatter is is there. But once you level off and you become stagnant, you're starting to reach for certain topics and things like that. The applause may not be so loud anymore. So what do? Do you fold? Do you stop doing it? Do you do you keep going? Because those are the things that you have to add. Like you have to ask yourself, and you have to be comfortable with yourself to keep going. And I think a lot of people miss that boat.
Yeah, and definitely you definitely have to be comfortable with what you're comfortable with. Like it's a lot of it's even still today there are topics that we don't discuss because we don't care. Like
that too. This is the thing. This is our platform. So even though we may not discuss it, we probably have opinions about it, but that's just not who we are. That's just maybe not things that we necessarily want to discuss here. Right. Because honestly, this is still our platform, and this is something that we use to kind of escape from certain things anyway. So you may not hear, an in-depth politic, type of conversation. Right. You may not hear that here.
Exactly, man. And it's interesting. Like the first, I guess, two years. I guess in the third year the pandemic hit. Yeah. So it was like it was a shift. It's like, okay, what do we do? Because we couldn't record together. So it's like, damn, like do we pause or like we have to find our work, find ways to work around it. We tried to start using Skype. And fam, Skype had a 20-year head start on Zoom, bro. Like how did they fumble that? But anyway, but then switched to Zoom and we found our rhythm with Zoom and we were able to continue to bring content through the pandemic, and here we are, hopefully on the other end of it where the pandemic is starting to subside just a little. And so we even made it through that. So it's like it's another layer of us building on the platform that we have, even though we had to make a huge pivot, a swift pivot.
What do you think is our crowning achievement when it comes to this? I know we're still on a small scale, so don't we still working, we still grinding. But what do you think is like our crowning achievement?
Man, honestly, I have two.
Okay.
The first one was actually throwing our first live show. So in 2019,
that was 2 years ago.
That was 2019, bro. May
literally
4th,
literally 2 years next month.
Yeah, I think either May 2nd or May 4th. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. But like throwing our first live show, so it's like all the planning that goes into that. You got to find a venue, and like everything y'all see with OS is me and Ralph. We don't like. There's no team here. And and shout out to Brittany, Confessions of a Pop Culture.
She's new to the team.
She's new to the team. So yeah, like anything y'all see, the video, the audio, the social media posts, that's me and Ralph. Like we do all of that. Yeah. So definitely our first live show. Okay. But also Breaking the Wire. That Breaking the Wire was a huge content creation moment for us because it involved hours upon hours of dedication to watching two TV shows and actually like debating them and dissect and shout out to Vicky who collaborated with us on that as well. That was huge. That was a huge moment. I feel like, but I loved it though. I enjoyed it. Yeah, enjoyed it. So what you think?
I'm gonna go real sentimental. I'm gonna just say, I think it's our growth, man. Like honestly, like to sit here and say that we're not the same men that we were 4 years ago on the mic, and I mean obviously off the mic, but on the mic, because I think that we took this extremely seriously when people didn't think that it probably would last. Maybe not even ourselves, because we obviously man, by year three we gonna be. Hey, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. But we started off with the idea that because people know you, they will listen to you.
Yeah, definitely.
But you had to start tailoring your show to people that don't know you. And that's the trick. Yep. I think people don't know that. Like, don't make shows for your friends to listen to. Make shows that everybody will want to listen to. And that's why we can say we have, people that listen to us on the East Coast, down South, West Coast, like middle of the map. We really have listeners like that. And I'm not saying we have a lot of listeners, but the people that rock with us, they rock with us. And I think it's no greater feeling than that.
I agree.
I think there's literally no greater feeling than that.
Yeah. And podcasting has introduced us to so many people we otherwise never would have even thought twice to communicate with. Yeah. Which is dope. Like I'm anxious for outside to really open back up for the pandemic to pass, because there are people that I want to, like, when I travel, I want to go kick it with. Like in 2019, I had just started like my actual like travel shit. Like I was out here in 2019. I was actually looking at pictures the other day. Took hella trips. And in 2020, I was about to be on the same thing, but the pandemic hit. But there are people that I want to actually hang out with because they seem cool. They actually communicate with us about the things that they hear on our podcast. Like it's a lot of back and forth, which I think is dope. Yeah. So it's just something that at least I'll speak for myself here, is opened me up to being more open to meeting new people, because I wasn't a people person before this. I wasn't really a talker. Like I wasn't really any of that when we started this, and now we're here. We're here.
Yeah, and one thing I'm glad we stopped doing was drinking while we recorded.
Oh man,
Jesus! Like it got to the point, we talked about the first award show a few episodes back, and you heard that. Man, but we really would just like, that's where the pour used to come from at the beginning of our old theme song, which came from somebody in the podcast community. Shout out to Dan from Black Law Legal Lives. So he blessed us with that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, we get a lot of blessings from people within the podcast community because they fool with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is, whether it be constructive criticism, whether it be like a little theme song here and there, like, like a drop, like, those things happen because of the level of work that we put in, and the networking, and the fact that we just, we're just some pretty cool dudes.
And that's what I was about to say. It's like, we're the same people on the mic that we are off the mic. We're us. This is us.
Genuinely, this is us.
Like I'm like when record is pressed, we don't change our personalities and none of that type of shit. Like this is us. It's gonna be the same us when y'all hear us on the audio and video. If you see us in person, we kicking it. That's what we do. Is what we do.
Yeah, and I mean, let's give you a bean. We are friends. That's the thing too. Like, this isn't a forced situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people come together for the sake of podcasting. That's why we talked about the Joe Budden situation last week, because that's personal to us. Not only because we're fans, we get it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So no, this is my guy, man. Yeah. This is my guy. He was one of the groomsmen at my wedding. Yeah. And he was supposed to be the groomsman in my wedding. That didn't happen. I mean, no. I got married. Right, to clarify.
The ceremony. The big ceremony didn't happen. It was intimate. You see the ring on my man's hand if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, yo. Shout out to Anna. I love you. My man's got married. Yes, it happened.
Okay, man.
When we start, damn, that's a, I don't know if I want to say this, but when we started, like the whole rose and shit.
I mean, no, it's a fair conversation. Yeah, you're not doing anything crazy, but
it's I don't know. It's just funny. Like we've had so many off mic transitions, like in our personal lives during the 4 years of recording this podcast. It's crazy. You, Pleasure Fraternity, like it's just a lot of
life changing, a lot of life changing stuff. And then I'm like, when we were in the midst of this, I moved. Like I was in the middle of moving. So, but yet we're still here. We remain consistent. The most time we probably taken off from the pod is probably maybe 4 or 5 weeks at the most.
I would say 3.
I think the longest.
Oh no,
the longest one was probably the.
Like our break from December to January.
Yeah, that's like our longest break. But one thing I know OS is the model of consistency.
Word. Definitely. Even when one of us, or maybe both of us, are not having the best day, didn't have the best week, we still come.
And we pod and we bring out the best of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
You guys have been here. You guys have given us your ears and eyes now. So, Yeah,
man. And it's much appreciated. Like, I don't know if we could. Well, I mean, we probably could continue. Well, I don't know if we could continue this without people that listen. Like,
well, no, it's easy to say that we would continue to do this, but if no one's listening, no one's listening.
Exactly. Right. So I just want to shout out the people. If you only listen to 30 minutes of an episode, 10 minutes of an episode,
we appreciate that because I think it still counts as a play.
Exactly.
Right. Play a download, whatever.
Any of that.
Because I keep it being, it's been a million times that I've hit record on somebody's podcast, and it's not to say that I don't fool with you. I just I get into other things.
Yeah.
And you never double back.
Right.
But that's not to say that your content isn't this. No.
I mean, life happens. Life happens. Which is why I appreciate so much when people listen, or I get a DM, or I see somebody out in public and say, "Oh man, I love the episode so and so where y'all talking about this." Like that means a lot.
Yeah, even if it's something that you wholeheartedly disagree.
Oh yeah, listen.
You listened,
and that's okay. It's okay to disagree. Like the world would be boring if everybody had the same train of thought on things. Like it would be super boring.
Exactly.
So that's dope, man. I'm appreciative.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you, my guy.
I appreciate you too, man.
Man, it's just
thank you for 4 years of your time, man.
Oh, listen, man. It's like
I know we're friends, but still, this is
it's a dedication time.
Yeah.
And again, we always got things in our personal lives going on, like, and to be able to do what we have to do separately and come back and do this now every week, every 2 weeks in previous years, it's like, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like I think this to myself a lot. Like we really started this out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere, and to be able to consistently do something that just we want to do, like we choose to do this.
Yeah.
And that just, I don't know, man. That just makes me feel good. That's all. It makes me feel good.
Exactly.
So yeah.
But no, thank you to the listeners and viewers of OS. We appreciate you guys. But let's get into Off the Dome.
Off the Dome. Let's do it.
I got one. Johnnie is making a movie. Not a movie about his life, just a movie.
Okay.
Who would be the director that you go to bring your vision to life for your film?
Okay, a director to bring. Let's see.
Any director.
Any time period.
Any time period, male, female.
Let's see. The first person, this is not my answer, but the first person that came to my mind was Michael Bay. Just for some explosion shit.
Why not
That's
Michael Bay?
That's funny.
Turn up.
Like Michael Bay movies are good for like action and explosions and shit, but not
necessarily
like
the
death.
plot.
Yeah. I'm good on that.
Okay.
Man, I think I'll go Steven Spielberg.
Interesting.
Steven Spielberg has a way of bringing. I don't like not fairy tales, but like just bringing a perspective on a story to life that I don't know. I just like. And he's the other than Michael Bay, he's the first person that popped in my mind.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with Steven Spielberg.
I don't think you could really go wrong with the Steven Spielberg film. Now, would he capture the black experience? I don't really know.
Well, he did Color Purple.
Yeah.
That's the black experience.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean, yeah.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, but that was the black experience at one point in time.
Sorry, I sneezed.
This guy. I'm gonna go with Jordan Peele, the new hot guy in Hollywood. It's easy to go with the new hot person because they
hot fire.
Yeah, but arguably this is probably the best time to get a director when they're in their prime. Like they're like, it was a moment where Spike Lee was that dude. Not to say Spike Lee can't make a movie now,
right?
But it was a moment where Spike Lee was that guy.
Yeah,
it was a moment where Steven Spielberg was that guy.
Yep.
It was a moment where Michael Bay had all the movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this is just, I just use like a Jordan Peele like that. I don't know what necessarily the genre would be. But,
gotcha.
I would definitely use.
I was sure like, damn, you want the black horror genre?
Pretty much. Hey, that is in right now. Like that is it. You take one of these songs that these kids like,
Yeah.
you flip it,
slow it down,
add
some horror 808s to it.
Let's go.
That's funny. It's a new movie in that genre coming out on Amazon Prime. I forget the name of it.
I saw that. I think that's Lena Waithe's work.
Okay, gotcha.
I saw that. Is it a show or a movie?
I think it's a movie.
I mean, it can be a movie.
But that's crazy.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about because it's kind of like, yeah, it's something like that. I was just like, yeah, that seems like a bit much.
I saw some.
It's like them, right?
I think it's either them or they. It's one of them. One of them. Damn, that's crazy. That's your remember that. I saw somebody on Twitter say Jordan Peele really created a new sub genre of horror film, and
he did.
He did. Like, right.
He really did.
Right. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. All right, so for my off the dome, it's still our day, damn it. If you could bring back any guest from OS past, just on any topic, who would you bring back?
I'm gonna go with our first guest.
Okay.
Skrilla.
My
man's he has released another project. Well, not another project recently, but this project was like 2 years ago. And you can hear the growth in his raps, and growth in him as a man. And then he just recently had a child, and him and his wife. Shout out to both. Shout out to that accomplishment.
Beautiful.
So I would like to see where his headspace is and where he would like to go with his artistic creativity moving forward.
Gotcha.
Plus, he's just our homie, so it'll be a good conversation.
From the city, man, right? Yeah.
So I'll go low hanging fruit.
I like that. Okay. So I just thought about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
For so season 5 of Insecure is this year. You might know where I'm going with this. The last season of Insecure is this year.
Yeah.
I would like to have Anna and Sade back. So shout out to Sade, shout out to Anna. We had them on when we did our
episode 8.
Oh, damn. Okay, so episode 8 we did a review and recap of season 1 of Insecure, and to this day, that is still to me one of the most legendary episodes of OS.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of technical issues that day too, but we got through that shit.
And we had one mic.
We ended up having one mic because for whatever, I think we started out with 2.
Yeah.
And for whatever, something happened, and I was like, no, we got to finish this. So we just put the one mic in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good times.
Yeah, great times.
Oh man,
but yeah, that was off the dome, people. Yeah. If you were able to create your own movie, which director would you use and why?
Yeah, and y'all tell us who would y'all want to see back on OS that we've had in the past. Let us know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Let's get into these topics, man. We gonna start serious and then we'll see where we end up. First things first, we have to send love and light and well wishes to the rap legend, rap icon, Earl Simmons, also known as Darkman X, better known as DMX.
Yes.
He recently had an overdose where he was hospitalized, and he was on life support, but there have been conflicting reports going back and forth about his actual health. Yeah. If he was, on ICU or not, those type of things. So, Johnnie.
Man, so I saw somebody post a tweet saying, pray for DMX, and I was like, okay, I hope this isn't true.
Right.
But as the hours go by, I'm starting to see more news outlets post it, so I'm like, okay, this has to be real. And honestly, when I think it was TMZ, when I saw them report, I was like, okay, maybe let me just sit here and say a prayer real quick. Mm-hmm. This is. I don't want us to lose DMX. I don't ever want us to lose DMX, but definitely not right now. And it was so random when it was reported. It's like, damn, what's really going on here? So
when I saw the DMX headlines, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh, you got arrested again? I'm like, that's not news. You know what I'm saying? And no, seriously. But we've known DMX to have one of the hardest falls from grace.
Yeah.
Just him being such a hip hop royalty to us. Him having that dissension like that, and there's nothing wrong. People have, people fall in hard times, but he found his way back because we've seen him on Versus, right? So he found his way back, but I'm not. Recent. Yeah, that was recent, but we're still not sure what what he might be going through.
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, this was a alleged drug overdose. So
Yeah, and I mean, even looking back to him during verses, like he was just having like he seemed well. It seemed like he was having so much fun. Yep. Him and Snoop was just kicking it, and it's like, man, to hear that he had a drug overdose is like, whoa, like, man, I feel like this would be a Kobe magnitude loss if this were to happen.
Yeah.
Again, I hope that it doesn't. I guess as of right now, he's off life support.
Yeah, he's stable. That's what the lawyer was saying, but then the family is coming back saying other things.
Right.
So that's where the confusion comes in. So TMZ broke the news, so we just have to respect TMZ's gangster. We know how TMZ gives it up.
Right. I still don't understand how TMZ gets all this information first. And it's gotten to the point where when TMZ reports it, that's when we know it's fact. That to me, that's crazy.
We trust TMZ more than we trust like a NBC, NBC, ABC, AP news reporting.
Which is crazy. AP Press, like that used to be my go-to on Twitter and shit. Like
TMZ, baby.
That's nuts. But I mean, hey, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
For TMZ.
Speaking of respect the hustle, I was at the gas station on my way over here. Why somebody try to sell me a pit bull?
Wait, are you for real?
No,
like it was a baby.
I'm not joking.
It's a baby. Like
yeah.
Oh my god. How much was it?
You
didn't get that far?
No.
You didn't get that far? Listen, it's 80 degrees outside. The weather calls for it.
I don't want a pit bull, man.
You also know what that means, don't you?
What?
You can start streaming your West Coast artists.
Come on. Here we go.
Listen, the temperature has passed 70 degrees now, so it's time for you to ride with your windows down, your top back, and listen to your favorite West Coast artists, bro. Yeah. I love it.
Mount Westmore coming soon. Next topic. We're going to remain serious for just a split second. I can get it out. Quavo and his ex-girlfriend, Saweetie, had a domestic dispute that was caught on cameras. TMZ, I think, leaked the footage.
Of course. Of
a physical altercation that happened in the elevator. I'm pretty sure everybody has, this news happened sometime earlier in last week, so I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the video.
Yeah.
Have heard commentary from Quavo and Saweetie on said subject. Johnnie, your thoughts?
Now, I didn't hear the commentary between them two. Mm-hmm. I did see the video though. Mm-hmm. Okay. I hope after 4 years we don't get canceled.
We're not gonna. It's not. Go ahead.
Okay. So I watched the video. I watched it multiple times. I even rewatched it today to make sure that I wasn't tripping. So from my take on what I saw in the video and in the video only, there was a tussle. Now I don't know what this box was, if it was a suitcase, a briefcase, or what, but it was an orange. I'm just gonna say orange box that it looked like they were wrestling over. Now again, I have no context for this video. I don't know why they are in this elevator. I don't know where they at. I don't know. But it seems as if they were wrestling over this box, this orange box. And Quavo pulls Saweetie in the elevator. He did pull her by the arm really hard to the point where she fell in the back of the elevator. Now I did see that. That was wild. Again, I don't know the context. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I didn't see anything else like crazy within this video.
Mm-hmm. Let's challenge it. We're challenging ourselves as podcasters because we always stay away from domestic disputes when we talk about certain things. But let's pod today.
Let's do it.
Quavius. These are young children with money. And this happens a lot.
These are, they still under 30, right?
Yeah, they might be
like
25 at the most. At the most.
Damn, I thought Quavo and them might have been like 28, 29-ish.
Nah,
I don't know.
Too much dip on the chip for them. Like I would say definitely mid-20s. Saweetie is definitely younger than that, but you have a lot of kids that look up to them. But this is not what we're doing, right? Right now, let's focus on what. I hate that this happened. I hate that this was publicized. Like they actually broke up. So this was actually something that happened months ago.
Sidebar.
Okay.
Quavo just turned 30 on April 2nd.
Oh, really?
April 2nd.
Interesting.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You did. But it's okay. Well, he's 30. Wow, I thought he was way younger than that. Wow, that kind of throws everything off now. Damn, Johnnie.
I'm sorry.
So
what? I wanted to know. I wanted to know. So okay, let's.
I'm thinking they're younger. That's why I'm thinking that. I'm not saying that this is okay.
Right.
I'm just thinking that I'm attributing it to being young.
Let's talk about it from the perspective of him being 25, because I am I'm maybe something like this has happened before. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about it from that perspective, and then from the perspective of a 30-year-old.
Okay. I just feel like you haven't lived enough when you're 25. You may think you have, but you haven't.
Right.
Even at the age of 30, honestly. But 25, something about 25, you feel like you're a grown ass, whatever you are.
Definitely.
But yet, you still haven't experienced life. And then you have a lot of money, you have a lot of access, you have a lot of freedoms that money provides. Yeah. So, necessarily, you don't think about those types of things like domestic abuse and things like that. You got lawyers and all that. Yeah. You know, Quavo can physically abuse somebody and not feel the ramifications of it like me or you at the age of 25.
Do you mean he wouldn't feel like?
No, I mean
he wouldn't think about the ramifications.
No. Why would I it's kind of like, why would I care about it? Not to say that physical altercations don't happen regardless of socioeconomic levels. Right. But I think that when you're young and you've had money for so long, you just don't think about those types of things because, hey, I'm not going to do any jail time. I'm not going to,
right.
Okay,
got you. Because it's a having, I guess, access type of thing. Yeah, okay. I see where you're going there. And I mean, again, I agree with that stance because shit, even when I am nowhere near rich, but when I was 25, I'm still not even what. I saw you cheesing. You had a thought. I know it. Damn, I forgot my thought. God damn, there's the smile.
It happens. No, but seriously, I just think that. It's unfortunate because I hate to see it because I think she's like, I'm not blaming nobody. I don't listen. People, keep your hands to yourself. That's the bottom line. But the video I saw, which could have been 2 seconds short, I don't know. First thing I saw was her swinging, but that may have been her defending herself. True. So I'm not sure. True. But then again, I did see Quavius throwing her back in pulling her back in the elevator. So
yeah. And again, man, it's okay. You know what I found interesting, and it's people's reaction to the video, right? I saw a lot of people saying that. Well, and again, I'm only speaking to this specific video, these 30 seconds or whatever in this video. Again, I did see him pull her. He did pull her by the arm, and she fell back in the elevator. Yeah. But I saw people saying that he actually hit her in the video. When I didn't see in the video, I didn't see him hit her. I don't know if he did before or after. I don't know.
Quavo's still a man. He should not manhandle that woman.
Agreed. I saw it. That's nasty. Whatever they were wrestling about, whatever the altercation was, if it was the orange box or not, you shouldn't manhandle a woman as he did in the video. There's no way you should do that. Yeah. All I'm saying is I saw people say, why did he have to hit her and all that type of stuff? I saw people saying that on Twitter. I didn't see him hit her in the video.
Do you think that this is enough to put a stain on Quavo moving forward?
Personally, no.
Okay.
But in the culture, yes, I think so. I think any time there's even an ounce of footage of a man even just pulling a woman like that, I think it's enough to put a stain on him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard to say because he's part of a group. You know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't necessarily checking for Quavo's solo stuff. Yeah. So I'm not sure how that works. But if Migos wants to come back out here and do another album or tour or whatever, I don't think that's necessarily going to affect anything.
As far as streaming and them being able to go on tour and all that type of stuff. It's not gonna mess up the church's money.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not.
Got you.
It's not.
I mean, it might not. It might not because the culture they forget shit. So even 5 months from now,
the people that are going to remember and want to remember, they're going to. And rightfully so. That's something abuse is something that you don't play with, especially when you have. I mean, especially when there's imagery out there.
Right.
That video is out there forever. It's gonna live forever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No matter whoever put it out there takes it down, it's still out there forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And another thing about this whole situation. So they've been broken up like 3 weeks now, I think. And that video, that altercation happened a year ago, from what I've heard. So why is that even coming out now? Is it because they've been like doing interviews talking about each other or something? I don't know. I'm just trying to make a correlation here because I don't know. I don't know one Saweetie song.
You know him. It's just
maybe I know.
No, I'm just saying she flipped everybody else's stuff. Oh. That's why.
Oh, just like Jacquees. Wait, what?
No,
well, it's the heavy side.
The thing with Jacquees is like, we're getting to a sidebar. Yeah. I think the thing with Jacquees is he's known for like, jacking like elevated joint, but he actually has songs on his own that I guess people that like Jacquees actually like, they're fool with him, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But Saweetie just really flips other people's joints, and those are her biggest songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Tap In is nothing but blow the whistle. Like, I mean, like you took Tap In, and then like somebody gave her the Freak League beat.
Petey
Pablo.
Oh, okay, got you. I haven't heard any.
But to the
untrained
22-year-olds that love Saweetie, hey,
the untrained ear,
they love it. They love it.
That's funny.
I'm an old grumpy man. I just hate when people flip the songs that I gave out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I feel that.
Don't mind me.
But I feel like it's interesting that these newer artists now are flipping songs that we came up off of. Like, damn, is this what my mom felt like when hip hop came out? Right. Like, this is crazy.
Right. But let's get into something else since we're talking about untalented musicians. Lil Nas X.
I knew where you was going.
Is he in hot water? Is it safe? I don't think he's in hot water, honestly. Okay.
I think
let's just get into what the story is about first, right? Yeah. He recently had a Nike that came out, an unauthorized Nike, I might add. Nike Air Max with human blood in it that goes along with his new video and song where he's pretty much, it's like a whole bunch of satanic stuff in there. Like, it's not really for me, but I don't necessarily slander, necessarily him as, his artist, his artistry or whatever. I think he's whack, but, that's another story. But other than that, Lil Nas X is out here making people highly uncomfortable, and I think that's what it is. So, Johnny, what you got for it, bro?
So I didn't see the video. I don't plan to watch it.
I had no desire, not even for this conversation.
Right. Now, I have seen pictures from the video.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm goofy. I laughed at some of the shit I saw. Like the man had like, you know how the women in medieval times wore their hair like real tall and all. Yeah. Like he was dressed like that. He was giving Satan a lap dance. Like
I don't care. I don't care about that because I've seen Satan and a whole bunch of stuff that I watched and laughed at. So that's not, I'm not on my religious high horse. And shout out to the people that's listening. Happy Easter to you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But that's not what that doesn't push my buttons.
It didn't move you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I just think that he's gimmicky. And I always get on artists that are very gimmicky. And the thing is, before anybody say, well, you don't like him because he's gay. No, I get on Johnnie Lucas all the time.
Oh, thanks.
I think Johnnie Lucas is very gimmicky. Johnny debates me on that, but
I mean, his shit that's out there is super gimmicky. Yeah. So yeah,
but he can rap. No,
but
Joyner has talent, and maybe not Lil Nas X does too. But it seems like everything he does is a grasp for attention. And usually, like, when somebody does this, there's some type of bullshit artistry behind it. And I'm not to say that. And maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I don't understand his artistry. But I feel like everything he does is a grasp for attention. That's why I just let him do him.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I don't think he intended to really be a music artist. I think that was just the avenue for him to get noticed, I guess. So now that he's actually out in the spotlight, he wants to do.
So what is it then?
I don't know. I think he just wants to express himself artistically, and maybe sometimes it's through music, maybe sometimes through making these types of shoes. And from what I heard, maybe a few years ago or something, there was a holy version, like a God version, Jesus version of the type of shoe that he put out.
Yeah.
So now he's putting out the Satan version of the shoe. And all right, be honest. Do y'all really think it was human blood in them shoes? Do you think the FDA or whatever the governing body is would allow that to happen?
Well, this is not a authorized Nike, so anything is possible.
I don't think that's possible. I personally don't think it was real human blood.
I think it's cat. That's fine. That's fine.
It's no way that could be real. Like I just don't think that could be real. Like how would it be stored in the shoe? In a test tube? You make a specialized test tube for the shoe? That's weird. That's crazy.
This would have been dope if it was like a Blade movie somewhere near, like some type of vampire movie. This would have been hot.
No, that's hard. That would have been fine.
I know.
That would have been fine.
I know. That's why somebody need to come.
Somebody need to cut the check. Like
somebody need to come get us, man. But no, I just think that Lil Nas X is extremely gimmicky. That's all. That's where all this comes from.
Do you think this whole thing with the shoe and the video and all that, do you think it deserved the backlash that it did?
If someone's not on your radar, I honestly don't care. I don't even think it deserved all the backlash.
I agree. No, I agree.
I don't. Honestly, I don't. Only reason we're talking about this is because of the backlash.
Right.
Because Lil Nas X does a lot of stuff on social media if that's a follow for you. So you see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't. Right. I just okay. Maybe you don't like the shoe. Maybe you don't like the way the shoe was presented to the world. And that's okay. You don't have to like it. But don't infringe on somebody's, I guess, artistic vision. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the main thing I'm looking at here. And here come all the Christians. Oh, that's not holy, and all that type of stuff. Like,
if it was a Blaze nigga, I'd have got it. You know what I'm talking about? So
it's like, what?
That's what's up.
Nah, if it didn't have the, what do you call it, like the pentagram that was on the shoelaces, if it didn't have the 666 on the side, this would just be a fire shoe though.
Oh yeah, it did have a lot of
it had a lot of satanic stuff on it. And I think it had a Bible verse like Luke 10:18 or something. I think I saw that on the side of it.
That shows how much I actually looked into the story.
Listen, I clicked the link. I did read the article. I just wanted to see because like people was really going in on that man, even to the point where Nike had to sue the company that was making the shoe because this wasn't an authorized Nike shoe. And we had a lot of celebrities coming out. Oh, I'm not going to support Nike anymore. All this type of shit. Nike didn't have shit to do with it, and because of that, a lot of people said they were going to start boycott Nike. That's why Nike had to come out and make that statement or start suing the company that was making the shoe because they don't want to lose out on no money for some shit that Lil Nas X did that they ain't even know about. It's crazy. It's a big cycle. It's all bullshit. If you don't like the shoe, cool. Just keep scrolling. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta comment on it. You gotta do none of this shit. Just keep scrolling. That's really all it is.
Stuff like that doesn't irritate me.
Same. At one point, I was really laughing. It's like, y'all really upset at, like, what is it that you're upset at? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go there. I wonder if a musical act or an artist or someone who wasn't gay did this, would it have received as much and as loud of a backlash as it did?
Let's just say, for the sake of saying it, we'll keep this person black. Okay. Let's just say this was Rihanna that did this. Okay. Let's say Riri did this. This is her first single back from her long-awaited album because everybody wants a Rihanna album, right? Thanks. Maybe not us per se, but we ain't turning it down. We get more Rihanna out here in the streets. Right. But Rihanna comes back. Her first song is this. She has she got a Puma deal. So let's just say her Pumas got, all the satanic stuff on it, and she's giving Satan a lap dance. we were like, hey, Rihanna just out here, you know. But the thing is with Rihanna and her brand, and the reason why I can never say it's gimmicky, Rihanna's on brand for doing something. Like, maybe she ain't went that far. You know what I'm saying? She ain't never went that far, but if she did, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually respect it. But Lil Nas X is gimmick. Because she got one song that everybody can name. Like, you can't name an album, you can't name nothing.
So, okay. What if, so yeah, we know Old Town Road and all that. This is a hard pivot from that. A super hard pivot. Mm-hmm. What if 10 years from now, he grows into this type of artist? Would you think this type of backlash will still have happened? No. That don't matter. I'm just saying if it not just a scenario, just a scenario. Okay. And let's say 5 because 10 is wrong as fuck. Okay, 5 years from now, let's just say he puts out a project every year for 5 years. Every year, the project gets more and more edgy to the point 5 years from now this shoe drops. Mm-hmm. Do you think it receives as much backlash as it does now?
No, because he's established by then. We don't know honestly who he is because he doesn't know who he is.
He's a kid. He's learning. He's trying to figure out for himself. He just came out as gay. 2 years? Whenever Old Town Road was 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago? So he's still trying to figure out who he is as a person. Mm-hmm. So. And he's doing that with the world by expressing his artistic.
The one thing about child stars, right? And I think, we gotta get away from this. Yeah. They're expressing their artistry and they're growing up at the same time. Like, they don't know who they are as an artist mm-hmm. and they don't know who they are as a person. Right. So you get a double whammy. That's probably why a lot of them go crazy.
Yeah. They have a lot of access to a lot of things at one time. Yep. And on top of that, add in social media. That's a whole nother level of stress and I have to perform and do all this extra shit. It's just a lot. I feel like it's a lot. Yeah. And for somebody who is as young as he is, it can be a lot for him. So
I'm not saying that it is.
Listen, yeah, we stayed here longer than I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. But since we're talking about a child star, let's talk about a children's movie. Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, has released this trailer, long-awaited trailer. Because honestly, I was waiting on it. Johnnie, your thoughts?
I'm happy to see Don Cheadle as a villain. No,
hey, I'm not mad at
that's
that.
A joke.
I
don't know, man. I'm interested. Mm-hmm. I'm not as intrigued as I thought I would be. Mm-hmm. From the trailer, mm-hmm. LeBron James cannot act. And that's just from the trailer. I may have seen him in one other movie. Mm-hmm. It's a movie with Amy Schumer. I can't remember the name. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna watch it for the culture just because the original Space Jam is a classic in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, one thing that I did love about the trailer, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One? Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I haven't. I thought I did. No.
Okay, so Ready Player One is a movie set in the future where everybody is in virtual reality. You could be whatever character you want. So in the actual virtual reality, there are characters from various movies, video games, just hella recognizable shit. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of recognizable shit in this trailer, so I hope it's similar to that. I thought that was dope. Like, I saw the Joker, I saw a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool to see, like, the little minor cameos of different characters throughout movie, video game universe. Yeah. I think that's going to be dope.
Yeah, I think that's honestly what's going to set the film apart because you know what you're getting with the lead actor. Yeah. You know what you're getting as far as, like, maybe a plot, right?
Right. So
all you can do is up the ante as far as, like, animation goes, virtual reality, like you said, and then little things like that. Warner Brothers just pretty much flexed this muscle. We're gonna put all our properties into this one movie where we can't get sued. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got all this. You got like the Jetsons and shit. Like, it's all kinds of stuff in there. So and DC properties. So it's a lot in there. So anything Warner Brothers has licensed to use, we just gonna put you in there, sprinkle you in there. And those are pretty much the characters that's watching the game. So I'm not even mad at that.
Right. That's
you know what I'm saying?
that's
so,
hard.
So
that's hard.
I mean, you know, Don Cheadle clearly is the best actor in the film, and that's okay.
that's
fine, and that's not bad to say. You know what I'm saying?
It's really not.
That's not bad because you know he's been a leading man at some point. So I love it. Like I actually want to see it now. Because at first I was like at first it was always like Space Jam is a classic, but it's just so much that makes Space Jam a classic, right? Looney Tunes was at the height because of us. Like, we love Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's the biggest basketball star in the world. You have a dope soundtrack that accompanies the film. So you have a lot that makes this film better than what the film actually is.
Right.
But
and then you had the NBA stars.
Yeah, and then you
so
actually it's everything about that. I mean, it's everything about the film than the actual film. Right. You know, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, I mean, now you kind of see the new one, like, okay, I can rock with it. Yeah. Like, at first I wasn't, rolling. Yeah, I was like, come on now, Space Jam 2, come on, what are we doing?
This is
a long-awaited, a quote-unquote, long-awaited sequel, come on now.
This is why LeBron went to LA.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically to not act good.
Hey, somebody's gonna drop the check.
Oh, come on now. It's LeBron James, of course. Of course. His basketball, his NBA career wouldn't have been complete without being in this type of movie. Like,
I guess. But I'm just saying, man, of all the virtuality, all the CGI, they didn't put a better airline on them. But,
Listen, man. You never know. Maybe that's part of, like, the plot in the movie. I bet you it's a hairline joke in there. It has to be.
Oh, it has to.
Did you see
Buzz got to flame his ass.
Oh,
of course.
Light his ass up. Did you see Lola Bunny recreated the Dwayne Wade alley-oop?
Yeah,
I thought that was dope.
And it'll probably be like little things in there like that for us that may not, get the other little things. Honestly, that movie is made for us because I don't even know if kids watch Looney Tunes.
That's a good point. Yeah, like where would they have access to Looney Tunes? I feel like it's on Hulu, but I don't know.
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, how many kids?
They don't even have Saturday morning cartoons.
I'm just saying, how many kids I'm gonna cut on HBO Max and watch Looney Tunes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've never.
I'm not around kids. So this is like Paw Patrol or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. My nephew loves Paw Patrol. It's a word party. He loves word party. That's some shit apparently. So yeah. Anyway. Space Jam 2. What is it? Not a new hope. That's Star Wars.
A new legacy.
A new legacy. I was close.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man.
Since we're here, man.
Shout out to Space Jam 2.
Can we discuss Justice League now, or
we can?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wait.
We good.
It depends on how much you got for it.
I got enough.
Got enough?
Yeah, I got enough. I got enough.
Let's see if I can remember because it's been a couple weeks.
I got you, baby. All right, now. I have finally finished Justice League Snyder's Cut.
Shit, man, long.
Oh no, man.
Wait, okay, before you finished it, how did you watch it? Did you watch it in parts? Did you watch like a few parts at a time? How did you do it?
I think I watched it in one long thing. The thing is, I guess the way my mind is set up, because I know it's not a show, I have to watch a movie in its entirety.
Okay.
I just can't keep running back.
Like pause.
Yeah. Because I got to see how this thing is sequenced. You know what I'm saying? Now, honestly,
my man's is a real movie critic. I love it.
Stop. No, I appreciate that. But no, just watching it, I looked at it in its entirety. I had to just, dive all the way through it. I see why it's broken up. I will say that, like, I echo your sentiment. It is significantly better than the original theatrical release. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a top tier movie, but it's definitely better. Like, it's better. Like, it made sense. It changes the plot a little bit more. That is understandable. You can see that they're clearly setting up a sequel with that particular release, which I definitely enjoyed. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a long watch, but it's good though. It's a long watch, but it's good. I love how it changed. It made Cyborg pretty much the star of the film, because the one thing that DCEU fucked up on was giving us the Justice League movie too early without making the other solo films early, because you have to give us so much nuance to a character. That's why this movie had to be 4 hours. It had to be. Because we didn't know, like, to me, very casual comic book movie. I'm a comic book movie person, not the comic book guy. So that, when it comes to source material and certain things like that, I'm not hip to it. So let's give me a movie, give me the origin story. Let's see how this thing works. Yep. That's why Cyborg damn near had a section to himself. He did.
Yeah, he was born of the mother box, so it was only right that he had his own story. Yeah,
this is his movie. So it's like if DCU did it the correct way, they would give Cyborg his own movie, or put him in like another movie, like a Batman movie or something, made him a side like plot line or something, and then introduce one mother box that way. Then when we get to the Justice League, okay, now we can play with the other two. You know what I'm saying? But no, they had to rush and make that bullshit movie.
Fam, they really could have went the Infinity Stone route. You could have had a movie with Aquaman with because the mother box was in Atlantis. Mm-hmm. First Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. Mother box and Themyscira.
Yep.
Could have did that in Wonder Woman. Yep. And then the mother box of man could have made a Batman movie where he's trying to figure out where the hell it's at, and then throw Cyborg in there as like a subplot. Boom. There we go.
Yeah, the only person that necessarily didn't need the full arc of a origin was Flash, necessarily. Like, he's a character that's big enough that I think everybody kind of knows it. But you can put him in the film, and then when it comes to introducing his origin, we can do that in his film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to go that route.
His run was so trash. So trash. Why did they have him running like that? I don't understand. I just had to get that out. But yeah.
But them making pretty much making Darkseid kind of like the Thanos type character of this movie. He's around, he's available, but he's not the one necessarily doing all the dirty work.
Right.
That comes through Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf, I was actually, where I know that this movie was completely different was the way they killed Steppenwolf. I was like, oh, that's how we doing it. We jumping niggas. Like, that's how we jumping niggas. Yeah.
Why did we have that in the first time?
Why did we do this the first time?
That's crazy.
Because Steppenwolf lived, right? Like, he got away, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
They killed my man.
My man, they cut off one of his horns or some shit like that.
They stepped on his horns, then they did the wrestling move, threw him up, and then Wonder Woman. I was like, okay, they just gonna let him go back to the port. Okay, cool. But I didn't see her cutting his head off. I was like, oh,
lit.
That was
over. But okay, the one thing that two things that I disliked about, I guess, just the Justice League movie as a whole. They literally did not need Batman. Literally.
He was needed in the theatrical cut, but he wasn't needed in this one.
It saddens me. And then Justice League weak as fuck without Superman. Like, super weak.
It's like, how is Aquaman that weak? I guess because he's not on,
But that's the thing, though. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying he's weak, but I'm just saying, like, you have a lot of strong heroes. Yeah. But it seems like they can't do nothing.
So frustrating. Wonder Woman and Aquaman together should have been able to beat Steppenwolf. They should have been able to.
That's what I was thinking.
But hey, whatever. I'm glad you got through it. Mm-hmm. Do you have regrets getting through it? Like, do you feel like you wasted your time? Is what I'm asking.
No. One thing I will say that was unnecessary was the epilogue.
Oh, 100%.
Like, okay, I didn't, because people were really going off about that exchange between Batman and Jared Leto's Joker. Yep. Okay, that's cool that we got a Batman Joker, back and forth scene, but was it necessary? No, absolutely not. Because for one, it was a dream sequence, right? A nightmare sequence, right?
So what we doing? What we doing?
I think it's kind of like setting up remember how Tony Stark had those dreams or those nightmares before Ultron came? Yeah. I think it's setting up something like that for the second film. Yeah. Whatever the second film may be. So this may be like Batman's, like, I'm having these premonitions that something bigger is coming. Right. But it's clear. It's clear that something bigger is coming. You don't have to dream that you've seen the aliens come. But I'm like, well, it's more of them. Trust me, they're coming back. Like, they won't. My nigga.
Warner Brothers, I just want to let y'all know personally that y'all trash, that y'all are not going to continue with this version of the Justice League. They're not going to continue with the Snyderverse, and I think that is not a good idea.
Interesting. I have my things when I watch these Justice League films. The CGI almost makes me a little cringeworthy. It feels like they're fighting on green screens.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that can be done so much better.
I'm not mad at that. But again, well, a lot of this film was done before Zack Snyder had to leave. So, and they did do a lot of reshoots, and Zack Snyder funded the reshoots himself.
But let me ask you this, and I might be a little bit off with this, but with Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, didn't he kind of have the same feel for some of those fight scenes? I think so. Yeah, well, to me, I guess because I'm just so used to watching MCU movies, I think that's the standard. So when I look at something that's a little off, I'm like, interesting.
That's
like,
right. Yeah, when Steppenwolf.
And there's nothing wrong with things being different. You know what I'm saying? But I just look at it, I was just like, this looks fake. Though. Yeah.
It was very noticeable when Steppenwolf was fighting the horses and he was like hitting the horses and shit. Yeah. His axe was going through the horse legs and shit. I'm like, all right, come on, man. We can come on. Yeah. This is crazy. And last thing, Martian Manhunter. Fam, you've been in this universe the entire time, and then after they kill Steppenwolf, it's like, you know what, Batman? I'm gonna fuck with y'all. after the whole shit, after Doomsday.
So he's the man. So hold on, is he? Well, obviously that's the same voice, but I'm not sure if that's the same person. I'm not sure if it's like on some MCU the Scrolls type thing, right? Martian Manhunter ain't out here shapeshifting, is he?
No, so
because that's the general from Man of Steel.
Yes, same guy.
The actor. The actor is playing Martian Manhunter, but I didn't know if that was literally the same person.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So okay. he's been there.
Oh, okay. All right. That's hot. Then.
He's been there.
All right.
And ain't doing shit.
That's dope.
You know, how do you just come in at the end? At the end of the whole shit?
Where the hell you been at?
Exactly.
So how you found out where I live? Like Bruce Wayne. Why is Bruce Wayne on Lake Tahoe somewhere, chilling in his cabin with no windows, like with no walls? Like, it's just, that's how rich people just clearly live. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just got a house on the lake with no walls. Like, it's just all glass.
He probably just built that shit. He didn't have to like go through no clearance or nothing.
Well, why are people finding him though? Like,
right, worst Batman ever. How you just keep getting found like that? That's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway.
But that was enough of the Justice League SnyderCut though. But man, we got a few more topics before we kind of get into the song of the week. Let's see here. We got Pusha T claiming he has a new album on the way, and he claims that it'll be album of the year. Now, do you have any expectations from the Pusha T album right now?
I wouldn't say I have any expectations, but I'm not happy that he said it's going to be album of the year. The last time an artist, a rapper claimed that they were going to have album of the year, 2 Chainz dropped a rapper last year. That was last year, right?
Oh, you talking about So Help Me God? That was last year. I thought you were talking about Rapper Go to the League, the one that
LeBron that was the one LeBron did, and it was not album of the year. So I just listen, man. I'm excited for new Pusha T music, but like don't hype it. Just drop the shit. Like I think I'm over like hyping shit before it comes out. Just drop it.
Yeah. Especially
somebody like Pusha T. Like, fam, we gonna listen to your shit when it drop. You don't need all the extra shit.
Yeah, Pusha is not gonna have a radio single. Pusha is not gonna, make anything that's gonna be like a summer anthem or anything like that. He's just gonna hit you with these coke bars. We kind of know what it is.
Exactly.
And I'm here for it too. Trust me. Like Pusha T is my man. Terrence Thornton, that's my nigga. So trust me, I fools with him the long way since Clips, and I don't think he has a bad project, honestly. So Pusha T always has content that I can go back to, rather it be Daytona, rather it be My Name Is My Name, those type of things. Like even, if I want to go dabble with some Clips projects, I can do that too.
Yep.
So when Pusha T say he got an album on, well, okay, cool. But album of the year, that is a broad proclamation. But if you ask anybody, well, no, let's ask us. Like, we did a top 5 in 2018. Would you, just thinking back then, would you say Daytona was still in your top 5?
2018.
Mm-hmm.
So I would need to be refreshed on what came out that year.
But you know that was a top album.
It was a top album. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if it'd
what?
be in my top 5 though.
I think you didn't have it. Now that I think about it, I did because I think it was like it was something about you could skip a song or something. So
yeah, so it was in my top 10 if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
But I don't know where between 6 and 10 it was.
Okay.
But I would say it'll stay in my top 10 for sure.
Universally is a top album from 2018, which is a very, very heavy year.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at it. So I'm excited. But nothing about it is like a single is not gonna make me more excited. You know what I'm saying? Or
Gotcha.
you saying album of the year is gonna make me more excited.
Definitely. If anything, saying it's gonna be album of the year makes me think that it's not gonna be that good. That's me though.
This is the album that has a lot of. I think he's still working closely with Kanye, which could be.
I thought he was. I thought Pharrell was.
I don't think this is a sole Pharrell album. Now I know he's still signing good music too.
Okay.
So I mean, Kanye still has some say so, something
Gotcha.
over what Pusha T does, which could be not necessarily a bad thing because think about it like this. About that whole 7 album, 7 song shit that he was doing 2 summers ago. He had the clear cut best album of all of them, right?
100%.
So
Teena close second.
So I'm not mad at that either. So with that being said, I just think that maybe Kanye is in a different creative space since he's getting divorced. I don't know. Maybe he might have some heat for
some
him.
fire coming.
I don't know, or just he might have a like the only thing that messed up Pusha T's Daytona from being, I think, well received outside of the Drake stuff. I think it was just that album cover.
Yeah.
That album cover was just like
tasteless?
Yeah, it was tasteless.
What the fuck am I talking about? Sorry.
Untasteful. Like, I don't use those say something
Yeah,
like that.
so-
But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I agree. I agree with that. Listen, man, we're at a point where the artists that are Pusha T's age and have been out as long as Pusha T, we've been rocking with forever. Fam, you don't have to make all these bold proclamations. We gon' fuck with you.
The only thing I hate, I mean, is as a rapper, what the fuck are you supposed to say? Let me just say that, right? I mean, what are you supposed to say? But I just know that if this album comes out and it is a dud, oh man, the Drake stands. Especially if he sneak this Drake on there, which I think he is. Like, it may not be a full on infrared, but it might be, it might be a jab. A jab here and there. But if the Drake stands know anything about this, they're gonna make it hard, man. But not that Pusha T even cares about Drake stands.
What if Pusha T drops this the same day as Drake?
Oh, he ain't doing that.
He don't do that?
No.
Okay, so last question. When do you think this is coming out? Summer's coming. When do you think it's coming out?
Probably summer. Last album came out in summer.
I did. It was that was like
Like
the June, right?
End of May, early June, something like that. So
Okay.
I can rock with that.
I ain't mad at that. Shout out to Pusha T, man. Interested to hear what you got for us.
Yes, sir. And I think that's that's it. Yeah, that's it.
We ain't got to do that video.
Okay. Well, hey, YouTube, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Mash that notification bell. And if you're still on the audio, stick around because we got somewhere to read with YouTube. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Facts. Peace. We love y'all.